And here we are, after just coming out of the Bethesda Indiana Jones showcase. They showed us a little bit of information, and I'm joined by Aaron. Yes, that's right. We all look like Indiana Jones. They gave us hats. So Aaron, sir, I have to ask, what are your thoughts?
It is what it is. No, I'm just kidding. I had a guy in behind me that was coughing and sneezing, so I was thinking about that half the time. Where's the camera? Is it there or there?
Right there. Yep.
There?
Right there.
There. So there was a lot of coughing that caught my attention, but I had to stand up. But yeah, they showed Shattered Space, which again made me feel like I have to get back into Starfield. But
did you finish the first round? Did you get to the end? Okay.
I'm 20, 30 hours in, which like the tip of the iceberg.
That's like your baby at this point. I'm
Very
days
so.
in and I'm still a baby.
Very much so. So Shattered Space and that new buggy that they launched.
Rav 8 or whatever, Rav 8.
I mean, it's like with a lot of their games, it just makes me want to go back. But again, there's no time, so am I gonna let myself be that excited for this upcoming DLC when I haven't even finished, like, you know, the
well,
base
they did
game?
say this is a self-sustained DLC, meaning you don't have to beat the game to play it.
Man. Well, that's the worst, because now I have to imagine. Yeah, it looks like it. You know, it looks like an extension. I'm happy to see that they actually handcrafted a lot lot of it. And of course, all we've seen is, what is it, 10 minutes?
Yes, 10 minute footage, yep.
Yeah.
We weren't allowed to record footage. But I'll be honest with you though, I was kind of impressed. I walked in here expecting Indiana Jones to be a Nathan Drake clone.
Oh, yeah.
And it does have an identity of its own, I think. I don't know.
It has
I might play it.
That DNA from the Riddick games is really coming through.
Yes, you can see it, yes.
And of course that's because a lot of the same designers.
Yep.
But at the same time, I do think it always feels like they did not talk about it during this presentation, which I kind of appreciate, because yesterday during the Gamescom opening night live, they did, like, Troy Baker started off with this whole, oh, this is why I love to play in first person, because you get to be indie.
It seems like dumb justification.
They don't have to do that.
Yeah, it just seems like justifying things that don't need to be justified. You made your decision, move on.
Yeah, just leave it be.
Yeah, I get you.
So I think that is the big point that I took away from this thing, just letting the game talk for itself. I do think still some of the gameplay looks a little bit janky.
A little rough.
Yeah, and I do think, like, some games are just like that, especially when it feels like they're taking in cues from, like, you can pick up, what is it called when you do the bread? What is it called?
You mean like
when you bake bread?
Yeah.
What is it called in English?
Oh my God, you're putting me on the spot. I know what you're talking about, but I don't know
this thing.
Yes.
That some are beating, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're using to bake the bread.
Yeah.
Whatever it's called, when you pick up stuff in the environment and he hits the enemies with it.
It has a certain pow, a certain almost old school Hollywood flair to it.
Like it's just stupid, small stuff.
They leaned in, yes.
Small, stupid stuff that you wouldn't really think of. Like he goes on with the shovel, beats one enemy. One thing that I thought about was, like, they have chosen these parts where they choose to have the camera going third person, and other parts where they stay in first person.
When you're controlling when you're controlling the guy, he's first person. But when a cutscene happens, an animation happens, when some event happens, it switches to third, so you can see him.
Like when he swings with the, what is it called, the whip?
The whip, yeah.
When he swings with the whip, that one is fine. But one thing that I do find fascinating, I'm not sure what is going on here. He was pulling this lever in a place probably during a puzzle. So while he was doing that, like, you see the gameplay, he goes up to the lever in first person and then puts his hands on the lever, and when he pulls it zooms out in third person, and when the pull is done, it snaps back to first person. It fell off.
It's very weird. Yeah, it's weird.
I don't like.
They don't know when one ends and when one begins.
So it's just small design aspects of that made me think, like, how much will they lean into showing him in third person as much as possible? I don't know, but it feels like they're threading that needle in a way that other similar games might not have done. So yeah, like the swinging, one thing. The climbing, one thing. But the lever?
Yeah, that was weird. That was
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
So, will you play it, sir?
Probably. I mean, if time is there.
Will you
For
play it
me,
on
it's
your-
all about time right
Will
now.
you play it on your PS5?
Could be if I don't have the time to play it when it comes out during the launch season, then I might play it during PS5 launch. It depends. It
And there
really
you go.
depends. Yeah.
There you go. Okay. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, man. Thank you for being here and doing this with me. This was a new, interesting experience for me, being able to see what's going on behind the curtain.
Yeah.
More from us at Gamescom. Peace.